Hi guys, hope you are all well and smiling. I just wanted to jump on today and do a quick update on where we're at with the petition. As I've been watching, I'm sure many of you have been as well, and we are now day 104. So they're definitely delaying their response. So that's a response from the Attorney General and also the Petition Committee. And the Petition Committee responded to Belinda to say that happens. They weren't particularly concerned that it had went past the 90 days and they'll get back to us in their due time. So right now we have a massive opportunity to continue raising awareness and signatures on the petition while we wait, and we will keep the petition open right through the negotiating period, so from when we get a response to our next steps as well. So continue to do your amazing work and get the petition out there, get the videos out there, get Bill Heffernan's speech out there. There's a lot of awareness building in the community, and that conversation is getting out into the public, and we can see that by the comments that we're seeing on Facebook. And I know for myself, I've never had so many people getting in touch to ask how they can help each and every day, and that's what I wanted to address today as well, because I'm sure that there are other people that really want to help and just want some ideas on what to do next. So some of the things that we've been working on as a team with Rise Up and our supporters are, we've been commenting on a lot of social media posts for politicians, celebrities, sporting groups, really anything, anyone that has a following. It's a great way to get the petition out to people that maybe haven't seen it before, have never heard about the suppression orders. So I'm starting to see more and more people on the posts that I'm going to. I tend to comment in particular on leaders' posts who I've contacted about the petition several times and have refused to get back to me. So I figure, it's my due right then to follow them up on social media and hold them accountable to their followers. So definitely get involved with that. It's a great way of raising awareness, and we can put the petition link straight onto social media where people can sign. And each and every day I have people saying signs, which is really exciting, and they're sharing it with their friends and family as well. Joining any groups, so it could be both physical groups such as mums groups, sporting groups, hobby groups. It could be an online group, so joining some new groups on Facebook and actually sharing the petition in those as well, because that's getting out to people that haven't seen the petition as well. You can contact public figures and ask them to share with their audience, and you can go right out there. Think of anyone that speaks out for human rights, anyone that's involved in being a voice of truth in our community. And some of them can be a little bit off the beaten track. Like I've been posting on Christian Hull's post, because he's been commenting about the awful handling of the rape charges within Australia. You contact people like JP Spears, basically anyone with a big audience that they might not have heard about the petition yet, because they're not in the circles or groups that are commenting or sharing the petition. So just by jumping onto those posts and putting up the petition link and actually reaching out to the individual as well and finding out if they're keen on sharing this information with their followers is a great way to raise awareness too. We can do flyer drops. We've had our Rise Up flyers displayed in a lot of businesses. People have been handing them out at parks, putting them on cars in car parks, and that's another great way that people can find out about what we're doing and find a way to be active in the community as well. You can contact independent journalists and bloggers. So think of anyone who is like-minded, is trying to get a message of, wait chicken, my chickens are coming in to listen to this. Anyone who's out there trying to get a message of truth out into the community as well. So think of community groups, schools and parents groups. Ask if you can get in and speak to them on a day. Pop into your council and ask if you can have a conversation with them about what's being done to protect children in our communities, and show them the petition at the same time. Signs are super powerful. You would have seen some fantastic signs from over the weekends. You can have car signs, street signs. You can write on t-shirts that you're wearing out to the shops, write in chalk down your street. People have been sticking up flyers in parks, at recreational centres, on community notice boards, and these are all places where people see information. And you've got to remember, not everybody is on Facebook all the time or other social media platforms, and it's a great way to get this message out to people that perhaps aren't as connected in those ways as well. You could change your profile, Facebook or social media profile and add the petition link with a relevant picture. Share your petition with your friends list, but actually copy and tag them into the petition comments, because it's very easy when people are on social media and they're scrolling through, they're giving everything 10 seconds, going past. If you actually tag someone in it and just say, this is really important to me, have a read and let me know what you think. It's a great way to make them a bit more accountable. And sometimes just asking that person to stop and read it, they can just be like, wow, I want to share it with a lot of people as well. And that's how this movement is coming to life. It's person by person, straight from the heart. So emailing your senators, MPs, and asking for their signature and support. If your senator or council member hasn't responded to you, which does happen, definitely hold them accountable on their social media. Feel free to get on there and follow them up. Say, I've contacted you about lifting the suppression orders and have heard absolutely nothing back. Let their followers know that you've heard nothing back as well. So you'll see the posts that I'm adding the petition to on social media are all people that haven't contacted me back, and I feel that it's my right to have a say, because they haven't, as a leader, done what they should and actually made a formal response to me. So I will hold them accountable to their followers. So some really great ideas there. Please reach out if you've got an idea or another way that we can, really bring this petition to life and get it out there further in the communities, and let's keep pushing. It's exciting to see each and every day the awareness growing, and big things to come. I wanted to share, I thought, what was a really beautiful quote by one of our supporters as well, and I found this really inspiring, and I'm sure you will as well, about what we can all do in our communities. And he said, when we care about the lives of others more than our own, we are doing what we are and were born to do. And that was from Murray Wilson. Thank you, Murray. I think that's very, very relevant in these times. So wanted to address some questions that we're getting at the moment as well. So a lot of people are asking, how did Andrew Wilkie get involved with presenting the petition? And let's set that straight as well. So once the petition, and this was the Australian Parliamentary House petition that was started in October, finished in November, was completed and submitted to the petition committee, we were waiting on a response to hear back from them what the next step would be. We got a response by email, or Belinda had it sent straight to her, and I think they gave it to us quite late in the afternoon, like it was probably about 4 o'clock, and they basically said, the petition committee will be presenting your petition to the House, and the only option, if you didn't agree with that, which is, I guess, having a speaker that might not really be very passionate or, well read on the subject, or may not even agree with it, presenting it to a whole lot of people, was to contact an MP, and we had to let them know that that was confirmed and that we'd have someone presenting it by midday the next day. So we literally had about less than 6 hours to really, 6 business working hours, I should say. We had to contact someone, fill them in on what we've been doing, ask them if they were happy to go in and represent this to Parliament. So there were 2 people on our list. The wonderful Andrew Wilkie was the first one, and Belinda got straight on to contacting him the next morning, because by the time we'd caught up, it was just too late to really contact anyone that evening. And she contacted Andrew Wilkie, went through what we've been talking about. Andrew said he understood the very short time frame that we had to make a response on, and he went off and did his due and diligent research, obviously, as you would want to when you're presenting such a controversial topic to your colleagues, peers, other politicians. And I know as part of that research, he actually contacted Bill Heffernan and spoke to him about it. And within a couple of hours, Andrew Wilkie said he was on board, he was happy to do it, and he's been incredibly supportive from that day that we first asked him to present the petitions in Parliament, and I think he did a fantastic job of presenting a very controversial topic, and I would wonder how many MPs, senators out there would actually have agreed to have done that, let alone have done such a great job. So well done, Andrew Wilkie, thank you so much. Another big question we're getting at the moment is, like, what's so important about Bill Heffernan's speech from 2015? It's years ago now, it's in the past. What relevance does it have to this time? And it's really important with Bill Heffernan's speech to realise that the corruption that he was talking about was not something that just happened in 2015. If you listen to our last video, in particular about the Royal Commission into Corruption in the New South Wales Police Service, right back in 1997, corruption around pedophiles and their protection, within our court systems, our police systems, by our governments, was very well documented and known. The unfortunate thing, there just wasn't many people speaking up and speaking against it, and possibly that was because they were just unable to as well, being that the parties they were with and with their supporters and the way that they come into Parliament. So Bill Heffernan's speech is incredibly important because the corruption that he revealed by questioning, he had a police list of 28 pedophiles. Every Attorney General since that time has seen this list, and not one has actually refuted that the list exists. And that goes the same for, after contacting all senators and MPs in Australia, I've had a lot of non-responses and unhelpful responses, but I've never had anyone say that there's no such list. A lot of them have been up front and said they haven't seen it, but yeah, the list exists. So it's never been refuted. And the most concerning part is this is police evidence that's been suppressed. And why has it been suppressed? Is it because of the profile of these people? Is it because of their positions of power? We've heard that it's spoken about in Parliament that they were concerned that people would lose confidence in the judicial system. That's not good enough. So the information that we're very privileged to have from Bill Heffernan's speech reveals that level of corruption, and it's in our court systems, it's in our judicial systems, it's in our governments, and our world and our society and the protection of children is not going to change until we really pull this evil out by the roots. And while there's people in power that believe it's okay to be pedophiles, to protect pedophiles, or to just be complicit and not doing anything about it, it's just not good enough. And it's now time for Australians, as well as people all around the world that are supporting us, to really stand up and demand more. And that's what's happening right now, which is exciting. And just to show you a little bit of an example of the level of corruption that Bill Heffernan was talking about in his speech, I wanted to bring your attention to a particular judge, which was the one that Heffernan talked about during that speech. And he's a district court judge. His name was Gary Neilson. And he made a speech about 18 months into the Royal Commission into child abuse. So he knew that all these investigations were already running, that they were under scrutiny, and it was almost like by making this speech, he was just saying, we're above this all. So right now, we're saying you're not. Anyway, this is what Gary had to say. The community may no longer see sexual contact between siblings and between adults and children as unnatural or taboo. What the? A jury might find nothing untoward in the advance of a brother towards his sister. It's just not good enough. Thankfully, Gary has now retired, but that is an absolutely disgraceful example of the mentality of a judge in Australia saying that pedophilia is okay, incest is okay, and it's not good enough, guys. It's totally not good enough. All Australians know, every person knows that crimes against humanity, crimes against our most vulnerable, our women, our young boys, our children, our young women, rape is not okay under any circumstance. So it's a huge issue that's being brought up in our country at the moment, and there's no better time for us to campaign this petition, get the information out there, you know, share the videos, share good documents that show the level of corruption in our judicial system, in our governments, and let's stand together as Australians and say, we deserve more. We deserve truth, justice and freedom, and most especially do all the children of Australia. The children of the past who have still not received justice, the children right now that are being exploited and then being put through court systems where we have judges like this saying it's okay. Pedophilia is not taboo anymore, and an incest is not taboo. No way. It's not on our watch. So thank you guys. Hope that was a little bit of information that, you know, makes sharing the petition and shows people how important these conversations about the protection of our children in Australia today is so important. Thanks guys, keep up doing all the amazing work, and I will chat with you soon. See ya.